Imagine Squid Game without Gi-hun. No signature red hair, no last showdown, no one left to question the morality of it all. The contestants would still sign up, the deadly games would still commence. The first game is red light, green light.
You will be playing red light, green light.
But something would be missing. If player 456 wasn't Gi-hun, someone else would wear the number. But would it change anything? Would anyone care enough to protest? Would anyone bother to remember the faces or names of the fallen? Gi-hun didn't come out on top because he was the toughest, or because he defeated everyone like some master tactician. He survived because he never let the game change who he was. While others saw opponents, Gi-hun still saw people, scared, desperate, human. He helped Sae-byeok lower her walls. He gave Ali a reason to believe in someone. He even reached Sang-woo, enough to make him pause and whisper,
"You're the reason I got through this round."
That hesitation mattered. It mattered because Gi-hun reminded people of their humanity in a place built to strip it away. He became the fragile link holding together any sense of compassion or morality. But what if Gi-hun had never entered the game? The number 456 would still belong to someone, another man crushed under debt, clutching at a last hope. But it wouldn't be him. And without that emotional anchor, the game wouldn't just play out, it would unravel. The system would eat through the players even faster. Take the very first round, red light, green light. In the real story, something quiet but important happened. Gi-hun spotted a familiar face.
Oh, Sang-woo, my man!
That simple moment, a spark of recognition after years apart, grounded him. It gave him something real to hold on to in a nightmare. Then the gunfire began. Chaos. People screaming, falling, dying.
Got caught.
Gi-hun panicked, stumbled, and nearly lost his life until Ali grabbed him and kept him upright. That gesture tied their lives together. Gi-hun, Ali, Sang-woo. A bond was formed, almost silently, but it shaped everything that came next. Now, picture a version of that same game where Gi-hun never showed up. There's no warm reunion, no reason for Sang-woo to look back, no moment of human connection in the blood-soaked madness. Ali still makes it through the round, but alone, detached, not part of anything larger, just another player trying to survive. Sang-woo? Without a familiar face, without a friend from his past, he fades into the crowd and starts his slow descent, unmoored and vulnerable to the darkness around him. Then comes the vote. After that shocking first game, the players are told they can leave if the majority agrees. Fear hangs thick in the room. People beg and argue. A mother pleads for her child.
I have a baby at home.
Someone screams,
"We play some kids' games, and you shoot us. You want me to choose that?"
"We're dying over games for children."
Let me just go home, that's all I want! Let us leave! Let's go!
But it's Gi-hun who stands up, not as a leader, but as a voice. "If we vote to stop, this ends here," he says.
If the majority of players agree to stop playing, the games will be terminated. Isn't that correct?
That is correct.
Then we'll do that. We'll put it to a vote.
That moment, that messy burst of empathy, may be what nudged the vote over the edge. Without Gi-hun? That voice never speaks. Player 001 might not change his vote. The game likely continues without interruption. No chance to walk away, no moment of doubt. Just blood and silence. Jump to the honeycomb game. Sang-woo, calculating as ever, picks the triangle. Gi-hun? He chooses the umbrella, not for strategy, but out of nostalgia.
Well, growing up, I'd always lose my umbrellas and my mom would get angry.
But then, one drop of sweat melts a thin line in the sugar. He gets an idea.
Right. I can melt it from the back.
He starts licking the candy to free the shape. It works. Others notice and follow. Even 001 imitates him. Dozens survive because of one man's desperation and a random stroke of luck. Without Gi-hun? No idea, no ripple effect. Players die in droves. The smarter ones might survive, but the rest? Gone. Ali could falter. Deoksu's gang loses members. Even 001 might not make it unless he rigs the game again. Either way, the dorm room afterward becomes a graveyard, quiet and cold. Gi-hun wasn't the strongest, he wasn't the smartest, but he mattered. He was the spark that kept a flicker of humanity alive in a place that wanted to crush it. Without him, Squid Game wouldn't just be darker, it would be emptier, and that sets up the bloodbath at night. In the original timeline, after the honeycomb game, food is scarce. Deok-soo's gang steals extras. One man protests and gets stabbed in front of everyone. Gi-hun tries to stop it.
A man just died! We shouldn't be killing each other like this!
But the guards do nothing except add more money to the pot. Then the lights go out. Chaos erupts.
We are here.
Like you said.
Sae-byeok is nearly murdered. Players turn on each other. Gi-hun's group fights to survive until player 001 climbs to the top bunk and screams,
I'm so scared! Stop this mountain!
End it.
and for some reason the guards obey. But without Gi-hun, that night ends differently. Sae-byeok, likely dead. She's fierce but small, probably cornered, maybe a 10 to 20% chance of surviving alone. Ali, big heart but no protection, maybe 10 to 15% odds. Sang-woo, he probably hides or sides with Deok-soo. As for 001, he can't yell again. Doing so would shatter his secret identity as the game's creator. He might try signaling the guards or faking a malfunction, but the damage would already be done. No Gi-hun means no unity, no one to remind them they're still people. By the time tug of war begins, everything is broken. In the real timeline, Gi-hun's team is hopeless on paper, an old man, a pickpocket, a quiet girl, a desperate mother. But they survive because of teamwork, strategy, trust. 001 teaches them a technique.
Tug of war needs more than just raw strength. All you need is a good strategy combined with good teamwork. You'll be able to win when you are against stronger teams.
Sang-woo orders the risky move. Gi-hun leads with heart, and somehow they win. In a Gi-hun-less timeline, that team doesn't exist. Sae-byeok's dead.
Take 3 steps up when I signal!
001 is surrounded by strangers. Ali is alone. He might be placed on a weak team and lose due to panic. Sang-woo forces himself onto a strong team. No compassion, just calculation. Deok-soo's gang? They dominate. Without that miracle team, half the players still die, but it's the kind of players Gi-hun would have fought to protect. The misfits, the quiet ones, the people who believed in something better. Without Gi-hun, strength crushes strategy, fear silences trust, and the game doesn't just continue, it becomes a machine that no longer pretends to be fair. And the next game, it wouldn't just hurt, it would destroy everything they had left. In the real timeline of Squid Game, the fourth challenge was marbles. Players were told to pick a partner, someone they trusted.
The player who manages to take all 10 marbles from their partner wins.
In that moment, Gi-hun chose Il-nam, the old man, forgotten, frail, and slow. But the two shared something deeper, moments of laughter, stories from childhood,
We are ganbu, aren't we?
and small lies that suddenly felt like truth. Even when Gi-hun cheated, Il-nam forgave him. Meanwhile, Ji-young and Sae-byeok sat quietly, two broken people clinging to a dream.
You can do it. Don't die in here, okay?
A gift of life, a sacrifice. And Sang-woo, he betrayed Ali, took his trust and crushed it, walking away with 10 marbles and blood on his hands. But even in all that death, there was still some sliver of humanity left. Yet without Gi-hun, everything shifts. In this alternate timeline, Gi-hun is gone. That small piece of decency, the spark that changed others, snuffed out. And with him gone, things unravel fast. Minyo only survived the marbles game in the original story because the doctor's cheating left the player count uneven. No partner, no match, no elimination. But here, without Gi-hun, Il-nam is the odd one out. Weak, confused, forgotten, nobody picks him, no one takes the risk. And the guards? They don't kill him, they protect him. Quietly fake his elimination, because Il-nam isn't just another player, he's the architect, the creator of the game. And if Gi-hun's not here to make it fun, to offer some spark of connection or empathy, then Il-nam likely welcomes the end. And the others, if somehow Ali or Sae-byeok make it to the marble game, it doesn't save them. Ali still trusts too easily. Sang-woo still sees an opportunity, but this time there's no plan, no warm talk, no fake promises. Sang-woo tricks him quickly, efficiently, with no guilt. Ali dies confused, still calling Sang-woo's name, still believing in a friend who never existed. If Sae-byeok survives, she still pairs with Ji-young, but it's colder now. No Gi-hun means no bond, no light conversation, just two ghosts drifting through a graveyard.
I have nothing. You got a reason to get out of this place, but I don't.
The choice is still made. Ji-young still gives up her life, but it's quieter now, less human, more mechanical. Without Gi-hun, they still play marbles, but no one really lives. Then comes the glass bridge. In the real timeline, 16 players crossed into this deadly round. Nobody knew what was coming. They just grabbed numbers, hoping for luck. Player 96 went first and died instantly. Others followed, their bodies marking the safe path with blood. Deok-soo froze. Minyo dragged him to their deaths. Player 017, a glassmaker, spotted the real panels until the frontman cut the lights. Sang-woo shoved him anyway. The bridge shattered and only 3 survived: Gi-hun, Sang-woo, and Sae-byeok, bruised, bleeding, barely alive. But without Gi-hun, it's much worse. No leadership, no empathy, just fear. The players rush forward, scrambling for numbers without thought. Deok-soo grabs a middle spot, thinking he's clever. Sang-woo goes for a later position, cold and calculating. If Sae-byeok is still alive, she hovers somewhere near the middle, unsure. And the religious player? He's stuck with 1 or 16, both death sentences. The PA reveals it's a glass bridge and panic sets in. The first few players leap and die instantly. Deok-soo freezes again, but this time it creates a pile-up. He shouts, "Someone else go first! I'm not dying here!" Then Minyo snaps, earlier this time. She pulls him off the bridge around tile 6 or 7. A bloodbath clears the way. Here's the twist. Because players are dying too quickly, the frontman doesn't bother cutting the lights, so 017 keeps spotting the panels. He rushes forward desperate. Sang-woo follows, not out of respect, but survival. They both make it across. No glass explosion, no feet torn open. 3 survivors, Sang-woo, Sae-byeok, and 017. But without Gi-hun, they're not just broken, they're empty. They eat steak. Silence, no joy, no conversation, just eyes darting in the dim light. Sang-woo wolfs his food down, watching. Sae-byeok barely touches hers, knife hidden beneath the table. 017 eats slowly, calculating. The tension thickens. There are 3 knives on that table, and no Gi-hun to keep the peace. Scenario 1, Sang-woo strikes first, sees Sae-byeok as a weak link and kills her before the night is over. Then he waits for sunrise and challenges 017. Scenario 2, 017 moves first, targeting Sang-woo as the biggest threat. Maybe even teams up with Sae-byeok for one last chance. Scenario 3, no one moves. They sit, staring, too scared to act. But morning comes anyway, and it's not fair. If it's Sang-woo versus 017, it's brute strength versus cold logic. Sang-woo wins 60% of the time, because when survival is the only rule, cruelty tends to win. If Sae-byeok makes it, it's heart versus monsters. She fights with strategy, but sometimes strategy isn't enough. If all 3 make it, the chaos gives Sang-woo the edge again. The truth is, Sang-woo probably wins. Not because he's smarter, not because he's stronger, but because he's colder. And maybe that's the saddest part. In a world without Gi-hun, the worst person wins, but even that isn't the darkest shift. In the real story, Il-nam gave Gi-hun one final test. A dying man shivered in the cold. Il-nam asked,
Would you help out that guy?
They made a bet. If someone helped before midnight, Gi-hun would win. If not, the world had failed, and someone did help. A stranger reached out moments before the clock struck 12. Il-nam smiled. His final breath was one of peace, proof that kindness still existed. But in this world without Gi-hun, that test never happens. No wager, no challenge. Just a dying man no one notices. Il-nam dies alone, staring at the cold city lights. The world he built continues without resistance. The front man remains in power. The VIPs still laugh. And when the next year comes, the games resume. Bigger, louder, crueler. No red-haired man to storm an airport. No message of rebellion. No spark. No change. Season 2 doesn't start with fire. It starts with silence. No resistance ever forms. The one man who could have fought back, the one who once screamed, "I'm not a horse, I'm a person," never existed in this version. The game doesn't end with justice, it ends with indifference. Because without Gi-hun, the system wins. And what the system does best is punish those who don't deserve to die. Some players won their games but still lost their lives. Others never had a chance at all. If you thought Squid Game was brutal, just imagine it without the one person who cared. Without Gi-hun, every death is worse. Every betrayal hits harder. And hope dies before the games even begin. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to our channel and hit that bell icon for more interesting videos like this.